I'm Dixie Ann Halage, the Acquisitions Editor of S&H Publishing. Welcome to our new author interviews. This is Lenora Rain Lee Good, and she's the author of Madame Dorian, Her Journey to the Oregon Country. So, Lenora, can you tell us a little bit about who Madame Dorian was?
Well, Madame Dorian was an Iowa Indian woman who married Pierre Dorian Jr. He was a trapper, and he came west, bringing his wife and their two young children with the William Price Hunt expedition, otherwise known as the Astorians. They were going to follow Lewis and Clark all the way to the Oregon country, but got sidetracked around present-day Mobridge, South Dakota, because the Sioux up above were waiting in ambush for them. They took Indian roads and Indian trails and made new roads and came overland from roughly Mobridge, South Dakota, what is now Mobridge, South Dakota, to Astoria, Oregon.
Wow. How long did it take them?
About a year.
That's rough.
They left little less than a year. She was pregnant most of that time with her third child that did not survive because of the hardships on her. She carried Paul, the youngest, in a sling on her side using her right arm, I believe they said, most of the time. Jean-Baptiste, her oldest, was able to walk a great deal of it or ride. When she had a horse, he could ride with her and Paul.
Wow. So is something new happening with the book now? I mean, I see that you have a new cover.
There is a new cover. And on the inside, in the middle part, the journey part, I have also included some line drawings that I made from photographs I took when I drove from present-day Mobridge back out and followed as close as possible the trail they took.
So you actually saw the scenes that she saw. Well, maybe they weren't quite as wild this time.
They were not quite as wild, and they had fences. There were no fences when she saw them. But I saw a lot of the same scenery that she saw. A lot of the wide open spaces. You come up a hill, and there's just days of travel over the same thing. It seems like you'd never get where you're going. But eventually you do. And she did. And as far as I'm concerned, she became our very first pioneer mother. When Lewis and Clark came over with Sacagawea, or Sacagawea, she did not stay. She and her husband went back when the party left. When Marie and Pierre came over, and the party, or much of the party, went back, she stayed. She and Pierre decided they wanted to raise their family in the Oregon country and stay there. And even when Pierre was killed a couple of years later in a terrible massacre, she and the boys stayed. She eventually remarried twice and had more children, but always she stayed in the Oregon country and is buried south of Portland a little ways.
Wow. So tell me about the new cover.
What's special about it is I was looking online for images of Madame or Marie Dorian. And up came the name Leah Marie Dorian, artist. So I went to her website. She is a descendant of the Dorians, living in Saskatchewan, anyhow, she's an artist, and when contacted about it, she had a painting that she had already done of the women, of Indian women, that she had dedicated to Marie Dorian, and we were able to get permission to use her painting and make a couple of minor changes, like changing the direction to make it suitable for a book cover. And I'm very excited about it.
So we actually have a Madame Dorian, not the same Madame Dorian, but Madame Dorian actually is the artist.
Yes.
That's very exciting. The new revised book will be appreciated for its historical accuracy and the interesting story in it.
The book is very historically accurate in most accounts. In the preface, I tell where I changed, deviated from actual history. But the book is primarily her journal, and I used the journals of the men who went on that journey. I used their journals, so the dates are correct and the happenings are correct. So it is a fairly accurate historical novel. There is fiction, but I'm not going to tell the reader that. They're going to have to buy the book.
Okay.
Because it is in the book. I tell in the preface where I have made changes to actual history and what I did, so they will know. So,
well, it was nice talking to you. Thank you.
Nice talking to you, Madam Publisher.